Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the colonies in Creeper World 4, and we're going to be returning to a Play as Creeper map, Fortress Play as Creeper by WithersChat, who did the first Play as Creeper map in Creeper World 4. We did that one a while back. It says this time it's an actual fortress you're attacking. And the times on this generally hover about an hour or more, but some are quite a bit longer. There's one person here who took almost 20 hours, yikes. And then there are also people who have managed to get it down under 40 minutes. I think a couple. I think I saw one that was about 37. See if I can find it. There we go. That's the fastest one that I've seen. So that's just your reference on time here. Let's see how well I can do with it. And we have our initial spiel here. There's quite a bit here. Pause the video if you're interested in reading all of this. I'm not going to go through reading it all out, but there's explanations of how to play, and there's tips for playing, and comments for feedback from the map maker, WithersChat. Are you ready? Death protocol enabled. Probably not ready, but we're going to give it our best shot. So we have to start in one of the four corners here. And we hit one of these towers with a meteor, and then off we go from there. So, the big fortress in here has all kinds of weapons, well fortified with shields. It's on higher ground. Not going to be able to take it early on in a frontal assault. We need to hit the factories, one on each ridge. And then each of these quadrants, well, they're different. They have identical terrain. Perfectly symmetrical, but the weapons are not the same. So, for example, over here we have basically a hodgepodge of different units. Snipers are notably missing here. There is AC Breeder over this way and a lot more anti-creeper units, you know, the cannons and mortars and sprayers, etc., but no snipers or missiles. And then we don't have missiles over here. So that's one of the ways in which we can sort of determine, okay, how are we actually going to go about this. And I want to start down here. Reason being, it's a mixed group, so not as good against our creeper, and we should be able to expand faster than we would be able to otherwise. And then if we take out the missile launchers here, there's none over here. We'll be able to use spores in this area to help us knock out this factory. And so that seems to be as good as any way, to my mind, of getting started. So we hit that particular tower, and boom, it explodes. Now we get a couple of other urns from the nearby items almost immediately. So we're going to want to place down initial emitters to help us out. And then I'm just going to wait a bit here because we just need to build up a certain amount of creeper. And we do have the mortars firing at us, but we are producing enough to counteract that. And that's just sort of a question of, okay, well, how far do you really want to carry this? And that is somewhat of an open question. But I think we're going to decide about now to knock one of these off and get some crimson rolling. And the point of that is, okay, we'll continue to have creeper flowing out this way, but we need to advance in this direction. It'll be harder for them to stop us from doing that. You know, you do that too early and you're not going to have much creeper flowing over the crimson. So, that's just sort of my thought process there. We want to knock out this to get to this urn and up to this urn. Those are the only two that are really close by. Okay, this is all going. I think it's time for us to move our emitters up to higher ground. So perhaps something like this. Oh, we've got another urn in there. Let's move up our crimsonator, perhaps to about there. And then let's try to move forward a little bit more. That was almost too far forward, but it worked. And we'll get you right up by our Crimsonator. So this is flowing out well, and I want to get it over to this mortar. Get our final initial boost of power. There we go. Oh, they just hit us there, and so that's not really going to work too well. It'll come back up. But let's move. There we go. Move the Crimsonator up to this edge. Then I just gradually want to relocate here as we're able. But we also have to just accumulate more creeper to be able to do that effectively. Whenever possible, I like to stick emitters right behind the Crimsonator. It really helps increase propagating all of that. And so from here, we're about to take out this mortar, which will help, but I just want to march up this way towards this ridge. Let's get a couple of these. Okay, we are progressing well. Let's see, I'd like to move that tower. That should be reasonably good. And then let's get right up here behind it. And this is going to be a situation where, to really get up here, I think it's probably the only time in this map I'll use it, but I want some mesh. I just want to form a nice area of this. Basically use it as a ladder to get up this ridge. I should have a fairly hard time knocking out our Crimson. But it'll really help us get up here a lot faster than we would otherwise. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, we should be able to get up there now. Bingo. Okay. Let's move our Crimsonator to, say, about there. Now, I want to continue pushing over this way, because my goal is to cut this off from all reinforcement. They do have micro rifts, but they're not going to last too long. This one probably will be going actually fairly soon. So, I want to try to push along here. And then just move around my emitters as close to this as I can. Okay, that should help. There goes one mortar. I think we're close to being able to put one down here. The timing can get a little tight. Should be close. Come on, give it to me. It looks like it's deep enough to me, but it's not wanting... Maybe is it inside the shield, I wonder? It looks deep enough, but okay, there we go. Now we should be doing very well indeed. So it could just be a little bit tight there. And you're not going to give me that either. Okay. Let's move it out here. Crimsonator. Let's move you out that way. I'm going to keep one of these on top of the ridge. But the others can all come out this way. Nope, not a stash. I said not a stash. And then this should push over here very effectively and cut this off. So while it's doing that, I'm going to knock out 2 of these and turn them into launchers. Because this is where I want to use the spores. Notice their micro rift is no longer there. I want to knock out this shield. And I gotta knock out the factory. Up there, working on the micro rift again. That's not good. But there we go. There's their last connection. I'm actually going to get rid of you for the moment to get some more creeper. But mostly I'm going to rely on the spores here. Pop. In a moment. There we go. And they don't have the, area here for the micro rift. And they don't have any energy to their weapons beyond this. Okay, now their factory's down. So enough of that, and we will just press in. Here comes our flow. We shouldn't need any more spores. So the 2 of you can go away. Return to emitter status. 1 of you. Because 1 of you needs to be crimson. And we're going to flow over all of this. Okay, we got another urn. We're going to get another emitter. Now I'm going to leave this one up here to basically serve as center field defense. But everybody else is coming with me down this direction. The idea is to go down the lower areas, not try to fight into all this. Go down the lower areas and grab these. Redeploy. That's probably a little bit too wide, but we'll dress that up eventually. Yeah, let's pull you in. Have a couple more like behind. I always like to have them behind the Crimsonator to push the Crimson forward. Let's get you out here, about in that area. And forward we go. They do not seem to be able to stop us. And we'll deal with all this later. But, you know, we're holding this area. They're not really able to push it back at us. Crimson's flowing a bit far to that side, but, well, yeah, there we go. Once that goes... I think I want to move it, though. It's... I don't like where that flow's going. Let's get you right in place behind here, because they seem to be holding us off a little bit too well at the moment. Let's get that Crimson pushing forward. They're hitting us over here from the side. You can see our creeper is almost over there. Oh, we actually got that. I didn't expect to get that one yet. That's a big boon. Okay. Well, let's put our Crimsonator up here. Having a bit of trouble getting you to do what I want. Form a nice block behind it. Okay, there comes our next one. And we're about to chop this one off. Okay. We're going to switch our Crimsonator around. Up to this direction. And we're going to try to push. Straight up that way. Appears to be going well so far. You can see that we're increasing our creeper level. We're almost to the level of the anti-creeper now. Of course, there's more than that. There's all of the weapons that we need to deal with, but still nice to have more of the liquid on our side than that of the enemy. There's another urn our way. I want to continue keeping a fairly concentrated front here. We're now flowing up onto the next level. I'm going to go quite a bit further forward with this. I think we can handle it. Now here I don't think we're going to need any mesh. But we are going to need to be a little bit careful. I want to shift some more out a little bit more this way. Because of all this concentration there. Let's not pick the hardest fight. Just yet. Relocate there to get it flowing up over the lip. At least we hope. Yep, we're already getting up on there. Beautiful. Okay. Now, we are going to want to send our crimson at them in this direction. But there are no snipers around. I'm going to make use of that fact in just a bit. Now, all of those should send a healthy amount of crimson there. Then let's get a couple launchers. Send out some blobs. I basically just want you to hit some of these defenders that they have right in the way. And while you're doing that, we'll gradually try to emit around this way. There we go. There we go. That's beautiful. And then just keep pushing back. Okay, that's about as far as I'm really going to be able to go for the moment. So, I'm going to have the two of you keep going. Go after the factory next. Meanwhile, Mr. Crimsonator, you come off this way. Let's move our emitters and start working our way around. There we go. There goes the factory for the moment. Now, that really doesn't do a great deal of good yet until we cut this off. Let's see if we can... Yes. We're in position. Outstanding. Alright, Crimsonator. Keep moving around the edge. Push them back. Remove any ideas they have about maintaining supply. And every mortar that goes down makes me very, very happy indeed. Okay, this is gradually going to flow out there. We're just kind of waiting for it. Let's have the two of you now go after the shield itself. Okay, maybe that was a bit aggressive. Oh, there it came online. There it is. And they're still getting supply. We just need to keep up the pressure. And actually probably should move the Crimsonator out more. Got another urn available. Okay, I don't think we need you two anymore. You've done your task. Translate to emitters. And we're going to start moving on as soon as we finish up the rest of this. They still have a bit of ammo left, but they're about to go away. Let's move you. Again, keeping the one emitter up for defense. Okay. All of that's flowing under. So we're going to do the same thing that we did before down here. Now this, more AC resistance. But we should soon be able to overwhelm their number. Look at that crimson bubbling up. And so I'm going to stick with just the one Crimsonator here. I could add more, but there's so much resistance from the AC at this point that I think, you know, the volume of regular creeper is going to count for something too. No, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Everything back to full power. And for a bit, I kind of like to go back and forth with it, but, I mean, the transparency, it's a lot harder for me to see where the crimson is. But at the same time, it can be clear to see where you're going to place everything. I'm going to go with a slightly broader approach here. Just up onto that ridge. But for the most part, stick as I have. Right down the side. I'm trying not to put any directly in front of the crimson, of course, because that will, you know, eliminate. It'll block it and it'll start pushing crimson back away from the enemy, which is not what we want. Approaching half hour into our struggle. And we're steadily moving forward. We're about to take the plunge down in here into the deepest part of the AC, about 4 depth. at the moment. But it's looking like we're ready to handle this. That's pushing forward just fine. Let's get set up along this ridge. Get our crimson flowing. We see how it's doing a little better. It needs more backing is what it needs. I think it might, yeah, it's too far forward. We need to create more of a flow here. Okay. Let's get some momentum behind it. Push up onto this ledge. Because between the AC and the weapons that are concentrated here, they're putting up a little bit better fight. Oh, I've got one more that I haven't used. Looks like we're flowing good over here. Let's put it down there. Now we're starting to show them who the real boss is. We can see we've eliminated a lot of the AC down here, so that part is going our way a little bit better now. Okay, yeah, now they are not having any luck at slowing us down. So the usual drill here. We're going to march forward. We have another friend to hit up there. I think we got him. Yeah, we're really expanding now. Almost 100k creeper. And we're just swarming at this point. Let's make sure we try to keep up to a reasonable degree with our emitters. Oops. Thought I had one more than I did. Wanted to take you two with me as well. Just need to go to a somewhat higher angle here because I'm having a bit of trouble selecting these sometimes. But yeah, I really need to be more aggressive pushing ahead now with how this is going. Let me go back transparent. Okay, we should be able to start jumping up there now. Always a good moment. Put one there. I'm also going to put one over here so that we start moving around there as soon as we have enough creeper to do it. Let's do a mass relocation here. All of that flowing well. And by now you know the drill. We need to cut this off from reinforcements. Only this time we can do it a lot faster than before. Okay, so how do we want to get in here? We want to use blobs. We already knocked out the factory just by sheer pressure, so this might have been entirely unnecessary. Given that, I'm going to knock a couple of them right back to emitters immediately. Yep. Don't need you. Okay, we're going to relocate. We're going to do sort of a dual approach here for our attack. Should be able to get away with that. There we go. Let's swing around. And once again, leaving one up there only. Let's get you forward. Maybe about there. Yeah, I'm liking the look of this. Just advance down this hill. Many things blowing up, which in this case is excellent for us. Got another urn. Yeah, let's get you forward a lot. Okay, I've knocked out all of that. This is going to go quickly. It's just the sheer force of it at the moment. Yeah, I definitely got to leave transparent on at this point. Okay. Let's relocate. They actually had a slight shortage of energy there for a minute, if you noticed. That's pretty awesome. So let's move you up this direction. About there. Let's get you further to the right. You know what we're doing now? We're crashing through this final ridge. Okay. There's not even any shield over here. I think at this point, not much cause for subtlety. So we're already over the fastest time. This definitely can be done better. But we're closing in on the end, and I'm pretty happy with it at this stage. Yep, now we're really starting to see how we're looking from this side. We'll be cutting them off soon. Okay, so we're going to get ready to commence our assault. Here's how I want to do that. Let's go ahead and throw a Crimsonator there. And a few behind it. Then we're going to do the same thing in all directions. Come up over here. And okay, they're not actually generating enough flow over here, but they will be in a minute. Okay. See, over 200k creeper. The, enemy is almost out of AC. They are not going to withstand this a whole lot longer. Let's go here. And do the same thing on this side with what we have left. So I don't need you up. That'll give me enough. And we're more or less at the watch the fireworks stage. Yikes. Okay, I miscounted. Get rid of you. And we're basically pushing in from all sides. The question is, how long do they last? Well, we're pushing up onto the plateau here. We're starting to there. This area, these two areas are going to take a little bit more multiplying. But it's clear that, they've got some resource miners in here and everything, but they're not going to be able to stop this kind of flow. Oh, look, we have another emitter. We'll throw that down. Keep throwing more down in various random places as more urns come our way. Literally as fast as I can place them at the moment. And all is about to end for the humans. They have things blowing up on them left and right at the moment. Their fortress being completely swamped and no hope of escape. And there goes the Rift Lab. Let's wait for the last bits of destruction to occur. Final holdouts here, but they have no power. Say goodbye to the humans, for they are gone. Alright, so 42 minutes and change. That was a fun map. At least I thought it was a fun PAC map. Let me know what you thought. And there actually have been some new of the CSM maps that have been put up. Noted map maker and speedrunner Fire Swamp has made at least one, another one coming soon. So I'm going to start getting into those because people seem to enjoy the semi-CSM maze map that I did a while back. That's probably going to be coming up next week. Till then, thanks for watching, and if you're enjoying the Creeper World saga so far, remember to subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll get notified when I put up a new upload. See you next time.